Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It was Southampton 1, it was Liverpool 0, and don't worry, it could be worse. You know, not only Liverpool not playing very well, not only have they dropped an absolute ton of points, not only are Manchester United breathing down our necks. I mean, at least we're not going into a national lockdown where we've got to find a way to homeschool our kids. Oh, fuck. Right, so let's dive into it. Your reactions to this game. If you are a YouTube member, you can use the live comments alongside, and I'll read through some of them. Just put Mate first in your comments. I know you're talking to me. I'll pop over to Twitter and read some from there, and then I'll be back in the live chat as well. We had a super chat that came in at the back end of the watch along from Cy Banstead. Though with 1999, thank you so much, Simon. That's amazing. So if we find ourselves second by the time we play United, then it's on us. We've only conceded 3 since the end of November, so there's no major defensive concern. But we look toothless in attack. Palace aside, which looks like a fluke. Yeah, it's just so hard to put your finger on, isn't it? Liverpool have always been a bit like that, like, you know, because we've not got this like supreme godlike finisher that we've had so many times in the past where we've been quite good but not good enough to win, you know, the major honours. So this team feels like it all needs to be function. I don't know. It's weird. It was just a mad game, and it's mad more so that we were so disappointed with the draw against Newcastle, but we had a bit in your hand off for a draw by the end of that game. Craig Tebbs with the $2.99 super chat here saying we need more than a centre back at the minute. Yeah, I mean, again, this is the problem. I can look at it, and we'll have some chats, plenty of comments around it. I'm sure this will all come up in general conversation. But like our two best DMs and our best our best DM and our best box to box midfielder we're playing centre half for us tonight, and that's okay because a midfield of Thiago Alcantara, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Gini Wijnaldum it's a good midfield today. I think we all looked at that and went, oh yeah, I'm quite excited by that. That should be let's see what that can do. In the end, it was very little in the first half. I think it looked better for 10 minutes in the second, and it was actually a shame because I think Oxlade-Chamberlain was just starting to impact the game. And then we took him off for Shaq, who, you know, it was one of them performances, wasn't it? It'd be unfair to say anything bad about Shaqiri, really, when again lots of other lads really weren't at it. But it felt like a game where we could have done with Jordan Henderson in midfield, and that's why for me, I can only imagine Shaqiri comes on. The only reason I think we keep Henderson at centre half is because I think we're looking to get a couple of lads more minutes in midfield, which sounds stupid because you need to win games of football, which I think we got the substitutions wrong, and it's easy to say with hindsight, but I'd have put Reece Williams on. If I was going to take Ox off, I'd have put Reece Williams on and I'd put Henderson in midfield, and I think we'd have been better for it. We had a little spell where we looked better at the start of the second half, and if you don't capitalise, you don't take your chances when they come. Fine. And the comment earlier about the Palace thing, you know, the first half, we weren't great, but we were ruthless. And when you're not ruthless, you need something else. And we just didn't have that today, so it was a bit shite. Leon Gay said, mate, you need your positivity right now. Please cheer me up. I love this team, but feel so bad at the moment. Yeah, and this is the hardest part. If you're we're all looking to Liverpool at the moment, because obviously in elite sport's going to carry on during the national lockdown. We're all looking for Liverpool to be the thing that gets us through, and when they're not, it's doubly disappointing. I'm in a bad mood when Liverpool don't win games of football, when life is fine. Life's not fine, and Liverpool aren't winning games of football, so life might as well be fucked as a result. Matthew Hannah there with the $1.99 the super chat. It feels like we've been found out. Accurate. I think it's too soon to tell, mate. If I'm being honest, I think it's far too soon to decide whether Liverpool have been found out or not. I think if I'm looking for rationale here, and I'm sure me and Chris will talk about this on the instant match reaction later, I think the fact that the lads that we've got in the engine room aren't up to speed yet. Thiago's good, and you can see how good Thiago is. There's no doubt of Thiago's quality, but it's first half since October. Did we play the Merseyside derby? Is that right? Was that October? That's a lot of time without footy. First start of the season for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Shaqiri's been out, so he's coming in and he's not match sharp. And then we're bringing James Milner on. Now Trent was crap, so you know Milner couldn't do any worse. But in some regards, he definitely didn't do particularly any better down that side. But again, there's another lad who we're trying to get back into match sharpness. So it's shit. I think the argument will always fall down is that there should have been enough there to beat Southampton. And is that us being big-headed and disrespectful, entitled? Maybe that's a touch. I'm sure if I was a Southampton fan and hearing that, I'd be fucking raging with the idea that, you know, Liverpool feel like they should be beating Southampton. So yeah. Bashar Al-Kittal says, we're in a bad run, we will come back. I agree. I completely agree with that. I do. You know, and the thing of it is, we've lost 1-0 to Southampton there to a brilliant finish from Danny Ings. Like, he shinned it over the goalie. It's a really good finish. And if Oak Salah does that, I'm going, oh, is it brilliant? Danny Ings is amazing. I love Danny Ings. I think he's class. I wish he was still at Liverpool, particularly tonight. And we're not doing enough to win football matches. That at best, that would have been a draw. At best, and that would be 3 draws on the bounce, 3 games on the bounce that Liverpool haven't deserved to win because they just haven't been clinical enough. So yeah, it is what it is. Connor R here saying it was always going to be a tough game. Didn't help going down so early to a really soft foul, in my opinion, and an error from Trent. Also, the officials were dreadful. How was it not a handball? I thought the officiating was dreadful, and again, it's always going to look churlish from this position, but I think it was. I thought the referee was crap. I think Sadio Mane got nothing all game long. Absolutely nothing, and that's it's one of those games where we just needed either brilliance or you need the sum of a number of parts to work in your favour. And so yes, poor officiating, then a lack of match sharpness, and a few of the bits and pieces. Just cut the legs off us, really. Welcome aboard, Jazz McDonald, Tristan Bauer, and Michael Lynch. You guys get your comment in, just write Mate first, and you'll know it's for me. Yeah. Sam Hamad saying that's the kind of game for the Virgil header in the 81st minute. Hugely missing his aerial presence. It's stupid. It's not like you rely upon these things, but what made Liverpool a complete team for the last 2 seasons was being good at fucking everything, and we're now not good at everything. We're now not brilliant at defending space. We're now not. We now aren't a brilliantly well drilled back four, so we can play an amazing offside trap. We don't have that again. Virgil van Dijk is a 5-goal a season centre half. Well, we now don't have that, and they're the team that wins the league, the team that generally finishes top, and then you go deep in the major tournaments, always has a centre half who scores loads of goals. You know, I think back to the 13-14, Skrtel scored like 7 goals that season. John Terry always scored loads of goals. Man United always had centre halves who would crop up with important goals at vital times, and we've not got that at the minute. There's tons and tons. There's loads of fucking mitigating circumstances. It just depends whether we can be asked to have them. Whereas I think there's nothing wrong with us going, that was shit. I thought it was shit. I'm pissed off that it was shit. So yeah, that kind of was what it was, really. Right, I'm going to nip over to Twitter very quickly. We've got some good comments over there. The first one from Tom Sharman. It's just too many crosses and not enough attempts on goal. Think it's 1 or 2 shots on target. Yep. Looked like they were scared to shoot once to walk it in or head it in. Southampton have got some big lads at the back, so why keep going to the air? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it feels stupid. When it doesn't work, it looks soft. We needed to attack more centrally, and the problem for me was, I think Thiago's been brought to do that, but we're having to use him now as a lone 6, and I see him. He needs to be another 20 yards further up the field, I think, in a game like that. Yeah, so it's disappointing. Yeah, we had again. When it's working and you're overlapping and you get Mane and Robbo into dangerous positions, which we did a lot, to be fair, I don't mind crossing the ball from beyond the line of the 18-yard box if you're playing flat, pacey balls in, because they can go anywhere, but there were none of them bounced fortuitously. Southampton dealt with that really well all night long, so yeah, it was. Ralph says, Rome boys, Ralph showed more emotion than our players. Imagine how shite it would have been if we didn't have Sadio or Robbo. We won't play great until Salah gets out of this team. Wow. If you know footy, you would see how we're severely handicapped by his game. None happens on the right. Don't at me. Well, sorry, Rome boys, but I'm absolutely throwing you under the bus here. I mean, there's a comment below where someone says Salah was better than Mane. That is not true in any way, shape or form. Mane was probably our man of the match. Him or Robertson, I think, were the 2 real outstanding players for Liverpool on the night. Salah was crap, but Salah, where did we... we've normally got a game plan to get the best out of Mohamed Salah, and I think Mohamed Salah has been having an outstanding season for us. I think he's been unplayable for most of the season. He's just had a couple of bad games back to back. In this game, he didn't get a sniff. I don't know, and I don't think he's helped by the fact that Oxlade-Chamberlain had a terrible first half, Trent had a terrible game, and then Shaqiri comes on, who's not a midfielder, and is not up to speed. And I know I'm in danger of falling into the trap. Like, Salah doesn't necessarily need lots and lots of things, but Mane has a good game because Robertson has a good game because Gini Wijnaldum has a good game, and those three lads dovetail really nicely on that side, and that's what Liverpool are. They need patterns of play to be up and running. They need players performing in and around, and it was just shit. Sometimes it's just a shit performance, and it feels like a bigger thing because it's been coupled with a couple of disappointing results on top of it. But yeah, Jonathan Hartley, null and void. Yeah, where's the null and void shout's gone? National lockdown, higher peak than it was when we locked down last time. Whatever. It's still Ryan. Liverpool with as much inspiration as a corpse in the first half. Missed Hendo midfield. Mo and Bobby especially useless again. Marin as a shambles, agreed. If this doesn't boot the board in the arse to sign a centre-back, nothing will. Fair play Southampton, but questions need asking of some of this team. Yeah. Bobby Firmino was a little bit better in the second half, but yeah, that was a poor performance from him. It was a poor performance from Mohamed Salah. It was a poor performance from Trent. It was, 10 minutes in the second half for Ox looked like the Ox we wanted to see in that game. Thiago was a bit off the boil and a bit swamped in midfield. Gini it was a solid Gini Wijnaldum performance without being an exception. The team was just fucking shite, but it was a team of midfielders. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you sit here and I'm like, should I bother? Do I need to find the positives? Do I need to look at it? Is it fair for me to just go, right, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Liverpool were fucking shite tonight and they lost, and they've been shite for a couple of games, and if they don't play better, then they're not going to win the league. I think is that good enough for everyone? I think that's probably pretty accurate, to be honest. Although Eric here saying beginning of the end for LFC, nowhere near the quality of 2019. Same team pretty much, but the form and quality of Hendo, Trent, Salah, Mane, Bobby has not been there. Fab playing out of position. Midfield looks disjointed the results. This team needs a revamp. Dad's army. I mean, fucking nonsense. The last bit about like I can't. My hope, and I might be wrong, is when Thiago's up to match fitness and Oxlade-Chamberlain's up to match fitness, I think we're a bit better. I think if Trent, I don't know what's wrong with Trent, and I don't know whether that's systemic or whether it's psychological or whether it's a fitness thing. I think it's probably a load of other bits and pieces. He's still a young player, and this is the worst run of form he's been in consistently, probably since he burst into the team, which happens. And in addition to the fact that once again, the 10th centre-back partnership in 17 games in the league this season, which is insane, when again, our league title last season was built on consistency. It was built on the same back five, largely playing week in, week out. There's a whole host of reasons why Liverpool are great. I wouldn't be prepared to throw the baby out with the bathwater just yet, if I'm being honest. James Connery, very bad blip. One that loses titles, to be honest. Just got to hope other title contenders blip now too. Still all to play for. Long season ahead. Just to clarify, we're not halfway through the season yet. There is a lot of football yet to be played. And look, if Liverpool are shite, then Liverpool will be shite, and we will struggle. But if they're not shite, then they might win the league. Yeah. Look, here's an interesting one. Dad Boy Fernando with the super chat saying City will win the league. Look at their form and their fixtures. Then look at our form and fixtures. Maybe. City have always been the one to watch. They've been in a false position for ages, and I said this, Liverpool needed to safeguard. They got themselves a little bit of a gap, and City had a slow start, and City was shite at the start of the season. City had their blip early on. I don't think City will go blipless again for the rest of the season. There's just too much football. I don't think Man United will go blipless, and again, look at like Tottenham were flying. We beat Tottenham and Tottenham hit a little poor run of form, and all of a sudden they're like nowhere near at the top. Man United would do that again. I wouldn't be shocked if City have that. I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool come back and then have another one. It's a mad season. We'll have to see. $3.99. Mbappe's better than Salah. Time has come. Yeah, absolutely. John Doe with the super chat. Pure crap. Move on. YNWA. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. There's very little to be done about this. I think we're all entitled to be annoyed, and let's have a little rage about it, and let's go and boot the wall and all that kind of stuff, like, because it feels like one of those kind of nights, to be honest, really, doesn't it? Absolutely fucking shite. All told, not good enough from a team that wants to be champions, but we are fortunate that this league's fucking shite this season, so we might actually get away with not needing to be an 80, 86, 88, 90 point team to win the league. But Liverpool need to get better, and they need to get better soon. They need to get sharper. They need to get back on the horse. Because let's be honest, it feels bad now because 3 bad results is a long spell of time, even though it's not really. It feels like it weighs heavy, but it's also 2 weeks since we've just come off the back of beating a title rival and then smashing Crystal Palace. Form's temporary, class is permanent, is what I'm saying. I still think this is the best Liverpool. This is the best Liverpool side I've ever seen. It's still the best squad Liverpool have ever had, and I still think it's probably the best side in the Premier League. But it might yet be Man City, or it might yet be Man United. Who fucking knows? It's a mad world. Let's hope they come out on top. Anyway, Chris is going to be back with player ratings. There's your chance to let all your anger out by voting zeros for all the players and then having them overrided by Chris. And then we'll be back for more chat on this in about 40 minutes time for the instant match reaction. So if you want a bit more of a chat, do tune back in for that. Thank you so much to Matt Lombardo, who's joined as a new member, to Michael Lynch, to Tristan Bauer, to Jazz McDonald, and to Jack Civil as well for joining in and becoming a member. If you are club captain or club legend, you get the final word show tomorrow. If you really want another hour on this, we're going to do it. That's what we do. That's what we do at Redmen, is talk about things until we feel better. Because let's be honest, we've been doing this for 10 years now. It's been a damn sight worse than this, trust me. See you all soon.